Heyo sewing lovers! I'm here with our new series. This is episode 1 of Behind the Seams. Today I'm here with Debbie. We're going to talk about what she does as a sewer. There's many different varying types of seamstresses. They all do something different. Some of us do similar things, but honestly it's such a different varying job that it just depends on what you do and what you like to do. Debbie, tell us about your sewing experience. What do you do?
It all began with my mom and dad. They're sewers. My dad did a lot of leather work, so he has a lot of sewing machines to do leather work. So the inspiration kind of comes from there. My grandma did quilting a lot. She would always hand me down sewing machines. I have a lot of her old sewing machines. Over the years, I've just kind of done this or that. I've made like a pioneer dress, little projects, a lot of times like trying to fix things, like a pair of pants or something, until 2 years ago. I guess it starts 12 years ago, where I was helping my husband's grandmother. She needed help because she couldn't get out of her wheelchair anymore. She loved to quilt, and she did so many quilts for people. So she helped me learn how to put quilts on a Longarm machine. We did a lot of free motion. She would give her quilts to charity. Up until a couple weeks before she passed away, she was doing quilts. She was amazing.
That sounds like an amazing woman.
She who dies with the most cloth wins. We've been able to do a lot at our house with those scraps. A couple years ago, I read a book by Jenny Doan, and she inspired me to want to get into quilting even more. So I looked into it and found a way I could rent a Longarm quilting machine. I started Longarm Quilting. I was working another job. I decided I just want to sew all the time. I found a great job at Trend Interiors. I'm doing seamstresses with curtains. It's just kind of snowballed into that, and I'm like, I love to sew and I love to learn it. All the different varieties of things. Quilting's been a lot of fun. And the machine quilting I do now is edge to edge. It's fun to use computerized stuff and see how it enhances everybody's pieced quilts, because there's amazing women out there piecing quilts. We just can't all hand sew it, unfortunately, now with like quilting bees or anything, or do it because it takes a lot of frame room. So a lot of people send them out to Longarm quilters. I get to be a start of that. I have a great mentor that helps me, Christy Mackey. She's great. It's been a blast learning how to quilt so much more.
That's cool. For our watchers who don't know what a long-arm quilting is, can you explain that?
With long-arm quilting, what happens is there's a lady that buys big bolts of fabric, cuts it into pieces, resews it together. Then after she gets it into those beautiful patterns of stars, squares, triangles, all kinds of things, she puts that together and she brings it to me. What I do is I sandwich it together with the back cloth, the batting, and that top pieced one. Then I put that beautiful design on top, and I do edge to edge, which is computerized. It's one pattern all the way across, all the way down, so it's very uniform the way it goes. That's what Longarm quilting does. It's a huge big machine. It's pretty long. There's different sizes from I think 15 up to 20 something, I think more than 20 something inches now.
You take up a ton of space, right?
Yeah, you need to have like a big workspace because your bars to hold those quilts, because you can do quilts from baby quilts up to king size quilts, 110, 118, 120 inches long. So you got to have that much room in your quilting area for those big bars, and that quilting arm comes across and quilts your quilt.
And it's just not realistic for everyone to have one in their home, so that's why they send it to people like you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so interesting. What's your favorite, are those your favorite things to do, doing those quilts, or what's your favorite thing to sew?
Definitely the Longarm quilting right now. I really enjoyed it. It's fun to piece them and to see the pattern come out. I just like doing that finishing part to it, just seeing how that design enhances those pieced quilts. I actually did one not too long ago, a tricot quilt. It was actually all one piece. Just the designs that we put on it made it into the most beautiful baby quilt.
Oh,
it was
so cool.
Amazing.
I love that. Have you had any customers that have been difficult to work with? Because that's definitely a big part of this type of job, is working with customers. Sometimes they don't love what we're doing, or sometimes even if we do it exactly like fabric just doesn't work that way sometimes. So it's sometimes difficult working with customers. Have you found that for the most part it's been pretty good, or have you had some difficult customers?
Everybody has their own opinion of how they want it. Some people like the smaller stitching really close. It's me learning how to ask those questions. Look, do you like a large pattern? Some people want it large and so it looks poofier, or they want a lot of batting in there, not very much batting, because their sizes, the batting can be really thin and the batting can be really thick. There's really cool things like the wool and the bamboo batting. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of details with that too that make quilts hang differently or lay differently. Some are poofier. I've had a couple customers that have been concerned with batting. They want to make sure that it's poofy enough. Yeah. And then when we sew it, that it all stays. If you're like, when you piece it together, sometimes you're not straight. As a long arm, we have to do what we can to just get it in there, because as we quilt on there, the quilt shrinks a little bit because it just bunches in. Sometimes people are like, why is it all different angles now? It's not straight. It's just the way of the sewing machine. It just shrinks it up.
That's something I never thought about before. So then after you're done with the long arm quilting, do you then square off your sides again and put on the binding? Oh, okay.
Some people just bring the binding from the back. That's not as popular. Putting the binding on afterwards, just making sure it's straight. It's not going to be exactly straight. One side is it can be a ½ inch off from the other end or the middle. It just is the way when you get piecing it together. Sometimes that cloth shifts and stretches, and then it just gets a little bit different sized.
Yeah, it just kind of depends. I feel like when it comes to homemade projects, we're professionals in our fields or in what we do. A product that's made by hand, often you're going to see those little things that show that it's made by hand. And a lot of people don't realize that, the difference between, oh, someone made this and put a lot of love and effort and everything into it. And I don't know, I feel like that's something that's really cool to talk about, people who make the item, because you see all that behind the scenes of all those things that went into making.
Sometimes I think that there's something that's totally off, and they don't even see that part at all. I'm like, that's beautiful. I'm like, all right, good. I will tell you about all the parts that I think that I may have messed up on.
Yeah, what matters is they think it's beautiful, and that we do our best as, give them a quality product. But stuff.
We really do try really hard, all of us. We put all our effort into it, because we know it's going to be a loved item, especially quilts. Yeah. It's going to somebody that will use it. So we want to make sure it's right and it's good. And so that's why I nitpick at myself, going, was that straight enough? Was that good enough? Was it right on? Making sure I have a good item when it's finished.
I love that. Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Thanks for inviting me.
Of course. Thank you guys for joining us. Join us for the next episode of Behind the Scenes. Bye.